Hello everybody, I'm Toyah.
And I'm Robert.
Yes, this is Robert, and I'm just so grateful it is Robert because you have had a pretty exceptional 2 weeks.
Yes, well, shall I begin with my upbeat moment or will you, dear?
No, you go into it,
My upbeat moment is I'm alive. My second upbeatest moment, which is really part of the first, is I'm alive and at home with my wonderful little wife and the bunnies Frippinino.
Okay, my darling husband is skirting around the subject matter here. He had a heart attack 2 weeks ago, and you were in the right place at the right time, and I am so grateful because you've been through a lot.
All right, so a little bit of the history here. On Saturday, April the 26th, I flew to Italy, and that's why Frippinino, the bunny, stood in for upbeat moments. So I'd been suffering what I consider to be acid reflux for the couple of weeks before, following my return from Cruise to the Edge with David Singleton. And I had this in 2019, and I thought, all right, little acid reflux, deal with this. But on the Saturday morning I flew, it felt a little bit more.
You know, for me, that Saturday morning, and normally when we say goodbye to each other, we hug, we kiss, and you were preoccupied. And I thought, oh, well, you've got some drama to deal with. I didn't realise you were having a heart attack.
Well, I'd had a heart attack 2 weeks before, but I hadn't known it. So what I was doing on that Saturday morning, rather than cuddling with my wife and making a fuss of the boys, I was emailing ahead so that there would be a doctor in the Guitar Craft House in Casta della Presolona in the Lombardy region of Italy. But I was in more discomfort the day I flew than before.
I cannot believe my husband flew feeling like this. So your wonderful and very brilliant team got you to hospital.
Yeah, well, the Crafties meeting me in Italy, one of them, Michaela, thought if Robert has a pain in his chest, rather than get a doctor to the house, we'd take Robert to the doctor and to the hospital. Bergamo Hospital, leading cardiac hospital in Italy.
Thank goodness.
So they wheeled me. I was in A&E thinking, oh, they're going to give me a prescription for my acid reflux. And it went on a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
And a doctor said, well, you should have 10 of these. You have 500 of them.
Yeah, that's a measurement in your blood.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. So anyway, there we are. And
so 5 hours of surgery, intensive care, then a second surgery.
Well, here's the interesting one. I was in A&E, not quite knowing what was going on, other than I knew they were going to do something. And an orderly came along and shaved my balls. Now, the dear man, I really didn't wish his job on him at that point. Now, this is the thing. So you're concerned with my heart, fine. What are you doing shaving my balls?
I think that's because of MRSA. They had to clear your body of anything that could harbour any germs because you were going into heart surgery and then intensive care.
All right, well, anyway, while they wheeled me off down the corridor at midnight on Saturday night, refusing to let me go. Now, let me just a bit of the story.
Okay.
When the doctor showed me the diagrams on the computer, she said, your heart globally is good, but you have these concerns. And I said, all right, I want to check myself out and fly home.
Yeah.
Back to you.
Well, I hope she told you it was too dangerous.
Yeah, she said that would do damage to your heart.
Okay.
Yeah. So I thought, all right, and the orderly came along and got on with it. And as I was being wheeled down the corridor, I shouted to my chums waiting for me, I thought they were working on my heart. They've shaved my balls.
And they look very nice indeed, I must say. We're not allowed any nookie for a month. But I've inspected him all over and he's very, very shaved.
Good. Well, all right. So at 12 o'clock midnight, Dr. Batgirl operated on me and found a trifurcated artery that needed more than she could do at the one go. So I went into ICU on the Sunday morning and back into surgery for a second stent in my trifurcated artery on Monday.
Okay.
And when I came back to my room, who was there but Perky Percy to protect me with the magic health beams.
So grateful to Perky Percy.
The magic health beams of unicorns.
Now, there's something, excuse me everybody, because it's been a really harrowing time. The doctor had just come back from a year at Brompton Hospital, hadn't she? The surgeon?
It wasn't the surgeon, this was another doctor.
Okay.
Who was doing follow-up care.
Now, what Robert's admitted to say is he doesn't speak Italian and very few people spoke English. So he kept stripping off when he was actually asked what he wanted to eat.
Well, they were complex moments, let me say that. Like, I was allowed to get up at 4:40 in the morning on Tuesday morning, stand up, and the nurse came in and told me this. But she didn't tell me how, because I was strapped into tubes and things. So I had to figure that out for myself. You see, the worst thing, little dear, I mean, all fine. The worst thing for me was the piss pot in the bed. Oh, that was horrible. That was my worstest moments, having to deal with 4 nights of piss pots in the bed.
I have to explain, my husband has never had anything wrong with him. He's only had one stay in hospital when he was about 22. He's not experienced hospital as perhaps as many times as women have, especially at my age. And it was an experience for you, and you did brilliantly, and I'm so proud of you, and I'm so grateful to your team who kept us all informed, because I was in the UK. My team were in the UK, but you were with your magnificent team in Italy. They were keeping us informed literally every hour. They were so on top of it. They bought you a blood pressure machine. They made sure you were fed properly. It's been extraordinary. And my goodness, your guardian angels have worked hard because they were with you all the way through this.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm a very happy, fortunate man.
So we are back. The usual Toyah and Robert. My husband is willing to keep doing Sunday lunch.
Of course I am. Hey, my wife thinks there's something wrong with me. Yeah.
Well,
6 to 8 weeks and I'm in action.
yes, he's getting used to the balance of medication. He's now on some medication for life. So, about 2 months of getting that balance right, pacing yourself, and perhaps sharing your experience with other people who may be experiencing it too.
Good. All right, I have 2 more things to say then, if I may, lovey.
Yeah, of course.
The first is, hey guys out there, if you think you have heartburn or acid reflux, really look into it. It might be something more. Secondly, I had another upbeat moment.
Yes.
Because I was released from the hospital on the Thursday and went into the Guitar Craft house where 124 other people
You
were
went
rocking
to
out.
work?
No, dear, I went to play with my friends. And the performance in the church at Casa della Presolano, it was stunning on the Saturday night. The audience were prepped with orchestral manoeuvres, and it really was a magical event for me.
Good. Well, everybody, I have a lot of announcements coming up which are totally inappropriate on a story like this, but we will keep you informed through Instagram of everything going on. Life is very, very good. My husband is alive, and I thank everybody out there for all your good wishes and kindness and offers of support. And to Robert's team, oh boy, I owe you so much. Thank you. Mwah.
Yeah, it's okay. Well, it's quite fine. Ignore all of this. He's a happy boy.
Lots of love from Toyah.
And from Perky, Percy and Robert.